Yesterday, some Senate Democrats sent the president a letter on high gas prices and how to combat those, including suggesting banning crude oil exports. Is President Biden considering banning those oil exports?
The oil exports from?
The Senate Democrats wrote a letter asking the president to ban crude oil exports.
Okay, got it. So the administration is closely and directly monitoring the situation. We're looking at all the tools in our arsenal. We're very concerned about the impact of high energy prices on consumers, especially as we enter the colder months. And so we're continuing, like I said, to monitor the situation, and we're going to do everything that we can from here to address.
So is that something that President Biden is considering?
I don't have anything specific for you. I can just tell you what we've been doing here, which is calling on OPEC to increase their supply. We've been looking at, monitoring the situation.
The tool that we've heard mentioned, though, from the administration is maybe tapping the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. We haven't really heard anything else specific that the president is considering. Is that because he feels that his hands are tied when it comes to what he can actually do to try to combat high gas prices?
No, I wouldn't read it that way. We just don't have anything right now to announce. But like I said, we're monitoring this.
Two sources are telling Fox that National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is the foreign policy advisor mentioned in the former Clinton lawyer Michael Sussmann's indictment. I understand that this just came across while you're at the podium, so you haven't probably had a chance to read into that. But what is the White House comment on that? And is there any conflict here, given that there has been news around the indictment? Is there any conflict here that would preclude Sullivan from being able to carry out his duties?
As you just said, Jackie, I'm just now hearing this, so I don't have a comment for you at this moment. I don't know anything about what you're just mentioning, so I have to talk to our team.
And there has been news around the dossier, though, over the last couple of weeks, and sort of this feeling that it's falling apart after the revelations that the Clinton-tied lawyer had lied to the FBI. Now, knowing what we know about the dossier, is there any concern that there was a lot of focus or too much focus on that during the president's campaign?
So, Jackie, I refer you to the Department of Justice. I'm not going to comment on that from here.
It was announced today, and what Secretary Raimondo was talking about is an effort to create jobs as well. But you are dealing with worker shortages right now. So how do you deal with the worker shortages, given your ultimate goal?
So, while we're moving record amounts of goods through our ports and to shelves, we understand the frustration that Americans feel when backlogs lead to higher prices or delayed goods. When we talk about, the labor shortage, I think the president has talked about this, the importance of making sure that we're paying people wages that are competitive, so that they're able to, to come back into the workforce. So
first, on infrastructure, obviously the administration has had months as we were watching this bill go through the process of making its way through Congress. Why don't we have a concrete list of projects that will be pursued first, and why don't we have a clear timeline on when those will be implemented?
We'll have something soon. I mean, this is something that clearly, as you said, we've been working on for a long time, and there was a process.
I apologize because maybe it is just me, but I still don't really understand how all the money is going to be allocated. For the broadband piece, the Secretary made very clear states are going to get a finite amount of money, they'll distribute it, the rest will be allocated based on need. For all the rest of the money, how will it be distributed? Does it go to states first? And will the federal government determine what projects that they will be assigned to?
So I don't have the specifics for you right now, but I can tell you the agencies that will be involved on the specific components, right? So
Congress has passed an infrastructure bill. How much can the American people expect that inflation will be reduced as a result of that over the next 12 months, say?
Yeah, I don't have a specific number for you. I'm happy to talk to our economics team and get something more granular there. But as we've heard from experts, whether it is an economist expert or the 17 Nobel laureate economists have said that this bill, the Build Back Better Act and bipartisan infrastructure, will ease inflation. So that's really important. That's something that we, when we hear members are afraid of going big, we say, well, this is going to actually help us in the.
With respect to the Line 5 pipeline replacement, One of the possible outcomes from whatever happens after this study, reduced output.
So let me, I'm going to use this opportunity to have some clarification here. As a result, there is a suggested potential replacement for a portion of Line 5. The Army Corps of Engineers announced an environmental impact study of that potential replacement in June, which is what I was talking about yesterday, and that's the study I mentioned. And so that was announced in June and is about the potential replacement, not the current line, which is what Peter had asked yesterday. So again, nothing new to share on the current line. We expect the U.S. and Canada to engage constructively on it. I don't have anything else to share about that.
The current pipeline needs to be replaced and that there is this study ongoing. Would a possible outcome from that study be a choice that limits output? And also, what's the timeline for that study? I had seen some reporting that a decision could come after the reconciliation vote, and that could be as soon as next week.
I don't have a timeline on the study. Again, this is the Army Corps of Engineers who are taking this under. I don't have anything more.
But why is there not a more urgent effort to have him and members of his staff and cabinet out on the road selling and explaining the various components of the infrastructure bill and Build Back Better?
Well, I'll say this. The president is doing local media, as Alex was just asking me about Cincinnati.
I know that there is going to be an effort to get people out into the various communities across the country, but you do have some of your fellow Democrats who say, we want the president to be more vocal. We want him to be out there and explaining this and explaining the various components, because you are talking about these big pieces of legislation, and you still have the second piece of it, which hasn't
We're
passed
working very
yet.
hard on, and we're very optimistic, as the president says.
Though, to not have him and other top officials out in a more robust way right now.
But the president is out tomorrow. He's going to be in Baltimore. He's going to be talking about this. Yeah, and he'll continue to do more. And I would actually argue that he has been out there. Anytime that,
During that interview yesterday with the Cincinnati TV station, the president apologized for being late. He said it was due to little foreign policy issues. What was he referring to?
So some meetings go right on time, and some meetings go a little longer. But I'm not going to read anything specific to that, or I don't have anything to share on that.
No question that I apologize for in advance, but will the president be pardoning turkeys this year?
Oh, wow.
A lot of people have asked me. I'm now asking you.
I mean, it is a regular tradition, so I'm assuming that will be happening. I don't have any news or any schedule to share with you on that particular pardoning of the turkey event, but I'm sure that we'll have something soon.
Okay,
But thank you for the question.
Very serious.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh. I'm like, geez, I'm all by myself up here. All right, everyone, happy Friday. Oh. I mean, it's been a long week, guys. I don't have a timeline. I know this is an important question. I know, you guys are so into it. I know.